bottle party at someone's house. I can't remember the date," said Jan. "Jason Belk. He was my first kiss, too. I guess I lumped the two together." Spencer followed. "Angela, holy crap, I can't remember her last name. And she was the love of my life at 15. I think I even proposed to her." "And you can't even remember her last name?" teased Tracy. "Geez, it's going to be like that with every wedding anniversary, isn't it? I'm going to have to tattoo the date on your forehead." Jan asked Tracy, "What about you? Who was your first love?" "Robbie Smits, my next-door neighbor," Tracy answered. "He used to walk me home from the bus and carry my books." "I didn't know people still did that," said Dean. "I carried Tracy's books all throughout college," said Spencer. "That's 'cause you're a gentleman," said Jan to Spencer, eyeing Dean as if to imply that he could take lessons in such thoughtfulness. "Minerva, you're next," called Dean. "Jay," a voice chirped from behind an anatomy book that had been propped up against two other textbooks. She held up her hand and flashed her wedding ring as she spoke her husband's name, at which Jan cooed. Minerva, my best friend, was as much a fixture at the grounds as the originals, Norman, the lumpy reading chairs in the corners of the cafe, and the cookie of the week. I've never known how she managed to switch her concentration from coffee shop banter to the functions of the circulatory system, but she aced every exam and lab, even after swearing the next one was going to be the end of her. After soaring through nearly 3/4 of an intense program to become a midwife, I was amazed that she still worried. "That is so sweet," said Jan. "What, were you high school sweethearts or something?" "What about Sebastard?" I called from behind the counter. It didn't occur to me until after I blurted his name that she might not want that bit of information getting out. She turned around in her chair to face me, tilting her head so that her eyes looked over her horn-rimmed glasses and shot me a death stare. I sheepishly shrugged my shoulders and ducked behind the cappuccino machine, my face flushed with foolishness. "Who?" the others asked. "Spill it." "Sebastian," she corrected. "Just a guy I dated in high school before I met Jay." "Dumped him for Jay, eh?" asked Dean. "Actually, he broke up with me," said Minerva. "Don't get me wrong, I thought I loved him, but Jay's the real deal. That's why I call him my first love. Nothing before him can possibly count." The women oohed and awed, while the guys rolled their eyes and informed Norman that he was next. Norman yelled over the cappuccino machine, "I don't kiss and tell, but I will say that I promised to name my firstborn after her, even if it's a boy." He then turned to me. "Ava?" Finally, I chimed in. "You mean, aside from Nicky Bates, my boyfriend from nursery school who always shared his cookies with me at snack time?" "So, that's how the whole baking thing started," Dean interrupted. 8 years old. My sister Olivia's friend Kevin, he had a mullet. He also, I later found out, became a pothead," I said, as I placed a freshly baked jumbo chocolate chip muffin, still warm, on a white plate and sprinkled red sugar crystals around it in the shape of a heart. Smiling in satisfaction at my design, I emerged from behind the counter and presented it to Spencer and Tracy. "A 2-year dating anniversary deserves a complimentary muffin," I said to them. "Aw, thanks, Ava," said Tracy. She separated the muffin's top from its bottom, then further split the top in two before passing it to Spencer and taking a bite, making a thumbs-up sign as she chewed slowly. I beamed. First bites, first sips, first batches are a lot like first loves. So savory, so pleasurable a moment that you want it to last an eternity. Compliments and accomplishments were nice, but nothing quite matched seeing people enjoy something I made, especially when I made it just for them. "So, Ava, isn't it about time you split one of these muffins with someone?" Tracy asked. I floundered for a moment, unsure how to answer. "Yeah," I parried. "I can eat the whole thing by myself." "Come on," Spencer wheedled. "Quit teasing. For real, when are you gonna get yourself a guy to boss around?" "I have Norman." "I heard that," Norman called from behind the counter.